I'm going to tell you a story about a boy who would never grow up. About the pirate who wished to catch him. About the island where fairies roamed. But this isn't the story you've heard before. Because sometimes, friends begin as enemies, and enemies begin as friends. Sometimes, to truly understand how things end, we must first know how they begin.
If friends can begin as enemies and enemies as friends, what makes Peter and Hook's relationship so strong in this story?
Hook and Peter in this film both have sort of similar passions to overcome their obstacles and complete their objectives. Hook obviously wants to get off this island and find home and whatever that is. And Peter wants to find his mother. Peter can fly. Hook needs to fly to get off this island. And so he sort of convinces Peter to trust him and work together.
Yes, they need each other to get to their own goals. That's probably the best way to explain it.
Blackbeard is the opposite of other characters you played before, because you played Jean Valjean, didn't you?
Yes,
Les Mis. He's obviously a very good character. He's very noble, knows what he believes in. What excited you about this role, seeing as it's the opposite?
I think just the freedom to be wicked, have fun with it. I think because Blackbeard enjoys being Blackbeard.
Yeah.
He's having fun. I think the thing that he's most terrified of is that this young kid, Peter Pan, is going to come and defeat him, and all the fun's going to be over. Like so. At times, I got to be kind of a bit heartless.
Yeah.
Bounce kids off the plank. But basically, he was having a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun playing. Those costumes were fantastic.
Yeah.
I came in singing a Nirvana song, which is before your time. Did you know the song?
Yeah, I did actually.
Really?
Yeah, because I like Nirvana, and I was like, no way, they brought this song in.
Really?
Yes, finally. I know you thought a lot about filming in 3D when you designed the sets. What was your favourite set to film on?
My favourite set was the forest and the natives' village. It was the biggest set that's ever been built indoors in the UK, and it felt totally immersive. People could get lost in there.
Whoa. My favourite set was the ferry set, by the way. Okay. It's a hyper-real world, including pirate ships in space. What has been the biggest stretch on your imagination?
Really, to see the film from the point of view as of Peter. You know, I tried to kind of put my imagination in the place of a sort of 11 or 12-year-old kid and see the world through their eyes. And that was quite a challenge, to kind of unlearn all the rubbish that I've learned since adolescence. What
did you enjoy most about working with pirates and fairies?
The fairies are really hard to work with.
They were really hard. They were giant divas.
Yeah, the fairies, we didn't have a lot to work with the fairies, because a lot of that was the magic of post-production. And the pirates were all so cool. They all had the most amazing costumes. They each sort of had their own theme. So one pirate would have little stuffed animals all over him that he had stolen from children, and there'd be there's just so many different types of pirates, and it was really fun to just be on set all day and to discover a new pirate every day.
That's so cool. And the songs are modern but seem magical in the film. How does the music enhance the fantasy?
Well, what happened with the kind of punk songs that are in the movie is that I had all the pirates together in rehearsals to do a kind of pirate boot camp, right? And they all kind of and we were playing some music to try and get the right atmosphere, and we were playing kind of sea shanties and so on, and they didn't really feel tough enough. And then we put on some good old-fashioned punk music, and everyone started pogoing around and singing along. And that felt like the right atmosphere. In fact, it felt like so much fun that we decided to have a few sing-alongs in the film.
I could relate to all the characters, but in different ways. Who do you relate to and why?
I relate to Peter, actually. Peter in this story, because I was actually quite a fearful kid. I was quite outgoing, but I was afraid of heights, and I was afraid of the dark, and I think it took me a while to sort of believe in myself, and so I relate to him in that way. I think by now I'm 46, so I've finally sort of got there, but I remember that feeling when I was a kid of being like Peter.
The Neverbirds and Never Crocodiles are mystical and scary. Why does darkness work so well in fairy tales?
My son, who's only 4, when he goes to bed at night, sometimes he gets really scared of the shadows, and his fears are real. And I feel like it's important in fairy tales. One of the functions of a fairy tale is to reflect that fear, and then show my son or kids that it's possible with a good heart and a keen mind and imagination to overcome those fears and triumph in the end.